I'm with Rory Quinn, CEO of Yukon Metals Corp. YMC is the symbol on the CSC. Rory, how are you this morning?
Very good. Thanks, Robert. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. So serendipitous that we're doing this interview right after important news from YMC. So you've mobilized for your first drilling program. How does it feel?
It's exciting after all this time. The company's roughly 1 year old now. We launched on June 3rd of last year and took last season to develop three, I think, exceptional drill ready properties now. And yeah, no, it's almost have to pinch ourselves now that we're actually doing it. We're drilling big holes and pulling up really nice looking core.
Yeah, so before we get into the news release this morning from AZ, it's the AZ project, but we call it AZ.
Yeah.
Let's just talk about how it feels. So you've been the CEO of this company from the inception point, early 2024. You brought it to this stage. How does it feel? Is it like having a baby that's now turning into a small child? Or, can you tell us how it feels?
Well, like you said, it's in your piece, and thank you for that. It was an exceptionally well-written piece on the opportunity here. As you said, well, first of all, your initial piece on the family, the Birdall family that put the assets together for Yukon Metals and of course Snowline, which I know you also have an interest in. Right, like you said, this is now 30 years in the making. This drilling, let alone 1 year from us. But yeah, we've had a very good time of it. We've raised $26 million over the last year. Right, we're able to get quite aggressive here. We're going to drill 350 meters. No, I mean, it is really exciting. I know that the team are really excited. We've got a big team now that we can drill 2 to 3 properties at the same time here. And so yeah, no, it's nice to realize everything that we've put together, building this team, building and putting together, I think, 3 exceptional drill ready properties and multiple drill targets.
Okay, so this morning we're starting with AZ. This is the first project of the 3 that are being drilled this summer by YMC in the Yukon. So you say 2,000 meters of diamond drilling. Hole 1 is already going down. You've hit copper oxides, malachite at 22.4 meters, including some core picks. I really like to see those copper oxides in the core like that. That's super cool. So tell us about this drill program at AZ. What's the objective? How many holes are you going to test this target with?
Yeah, we've set up 3 drill pads to start, and we'll do at least we'll do 2 holes off of each of those drill pads, and yeah, we're going to get a really good sense for structure and orientation here, and we're taking big swings here, right? As you talked about before, this is honest to goodness, exploration that we're doing here, and yeah, I think we're going to get an excellent sense of this, and yeah, I mean, we think there's the potential to intersect significant copper downhole, like significantly downhole.
So this is a porphyry, skarn porphyry project. There's a lot of copper at surface. You've got some pretty big soil anomalies. But right now, with this first Maiden program, you're just basically going to test it, one area of the project, with the drill, but then you're going to send your field crews to test another area of the project, but not with the drills, but just, with the field work and sampling.
No, thanks for that question. You know what, Robert, we will test that other area. The other area, the Birdalls and Ron Birdall delivered 10.3% copper in trenching. We'll drill that. So yeah, so we'll drill both ends, and then we'll seek to test for continuity along that whole 5 kilometer long mineralized trend. And if you recall at Chair Mountain, right, if you see the pictures there, I mean, there's big bald spots, and that represents a genuine kill zone where no vegetation will grow because there's just too much metal in the ground. It's poisonous. And then that at Chair Mountain, that's a 1.2 kilometer long Gaussian zone. What's that? Probably about 800 meter long. It's sort of 1,200 meters, I should say, or 0.8 of a mile. I was about to say. I mean, it's mineralized all the way along. I mean, we prospected along that Gaussian zone, and just there's grade everywhere at surface, right? And so we'll fly the entire property. I mean, even this area is a small part of AZ. It's almost 12,000 hectares. So I mean, it takes 15 minutes plus to fly across it in a helicopter. It's a big property.
All right, so just to be clear, the drill is starting at Chair Mountain. There's going to be 2 or 3 holes, 300, 400 or so meters, and then the rig is going to move to which target?
I think we'll do it will move over to it's called Maryland Creek, or the actual showing is called Nutzotin. You can we show a map where there's various mineral occurrences, but yeah, we'll do at least 4 holes at Chair, perhaps up to 6, and then we'll move the rig and then we'll do test there at Maryland Creek.
Got it.
It looks like similar type material, right? It's like, you know, the rock that was 3.49% copper. It looks like the same type of material.
Yeah. So yeah, this is exciting because that's a very large trend there. That's a very large area that you're stepping out across, and this is the first drill program into this project. So that's really exciting. And you're drilling pretty deep, so you could make a new discovery here. We'll just have to see. There's a lot of signs that this could be a porphyry system. So we'll have to see the results there. So then, once you're done at AZ, will you move over to Star River, or is that just going to happen, regardless of when you're done here?
Yeah, we'll move over to Star as well. We had a bit of a better weather situation at AZ to get started early. It's been a really long winter from folks on the ground. It's been one of the longest winters and coldest springs in memory there. So we have had some weather at Star and some wildlife that we need to work around. But yeah, we'll get in there and do 4,000 meters just before we wrap up on AZ. I think particularly for your audience, I think it's really key to know that AZ is right up against the Alaska border. It's 6 kilometers, 4 miles from the Alaska Highway. There's actually a trail that goes from the Alaska Highway to Chair Mountain. And we can camp right on the highway, so close to power, close to road. I mean, it's ideal as far as infrastructure is concerned.
Yeah, I mean, when I first took a look at the project portfolio, what was it, last May or June, I forget, and I went through the different projects, I said, I like this one the most. So you're starting with my favorite. So fingers crossed, hopefully you discover a porphyry system there, skarn porphyry system. So let's move on over to Star River. So Star River is the one with the really high silver grades at surface and rock samples, the rock chip samples. There's a lot of, seems to me like there's an abundance of target zones at Star River. So where will you start at Star River?
We'll start in that south central area of the property. I think if you have a map, it's F2 and F3, and so it's that south central area of the property. We have our highest concentration of silver grade, our highest grade gold at surface. So that was 101 gram per ton gold. So what's that? Roughly 3 ounces per ton gold. Right at surface, we had our biggest and most powerful mag high there of roughly 400 meters across, and our biggest gravity high of 800 meters across, and the most powerful gravity high. So we'll focus there. We'll set up 3 drill pads there also. Essentially where we're drilling is just kind of a Venn diagram, right? If you had a Venn diagram of the best silver prospecting, the best gold prospecting, the best mag geophysics, the best gravity geophysics, and then in the middle is F2, F3, where everything worked and it's just a bullseye target. And so, yeah, we're really excited to get going there. Bonanza grade silver and gold at surface. We think that's a CRD, a carbonate replacement. We're just focusing on where the low hanging fruit is. We think there's multiple targets like this, right? So this will be a proof of concept. We think we'll drill through a silver vein at surface, high grade silver at surface. 50 meters down, we think we can get into a gold bearing manto. We think that we think there's a good chance that the 400 meter across gravity high and mag high is a gold bearing manto just beneath the silver.
Yeah, so Star River is really exciting project, and that's going to be your largest program. You're going to do 4,000 or so meters at Star River. And I see you've put together a budget for this season's 3 programs. It adds up to about 9,000 or so. Is there any possibility that you could expand these programs?
Definitely. I mean, it was a relatively conservative program. I mean, the dollar value, the budget, as you know, is about $7 million and Canadian, and we have over 17 million in the treasury, so we can afford to get more aggressive here on results.
Okay, so with good results,
yeah,
you may expand one or more of the program. So then the final project that will be drilled this summer will be Birch. Tell us about Birch.
Yeah, and if you don't mind, if I just hit the infrastructure element with Star as well, there's an all-weather access road that runs through Star, and it's plowed by the government year-round, and I can get there. For context, Whitehorse is roughly a 2-hour flight from Vancouver, which is right close to Seattle, obviously, and so 2-hour flight south gets you to San Fran, 2-hour flight north gets you to Whitehorse. I can jump in an F-150 from the airport and be on site in 5 hours, right? And we have a nice winterized camp there. We think we'll be able to work well into winter as we go forward here. But yeah, I mean, that's key. It's like we can bring in heavy machinery, big drill rigs, people, goods. Like we can use road here, right? So it doesn't have to be helicopter supported, which saves a lot of money. Right, on drilling and just overall exploration, and means probably it can make it a heck of a lot easier to permit, right? When you don't have to build a road, you don't have to build power to all the way to site.
Yeah, that's a good point, because in the Yukon, a lot of the negatives that certain people talk about is it needs more infrastructure, it needs power, right? So the fact that you've got such good road access and you're in proximity, or at least it's drivable from a major airport, that's a big advantage.
Yep. No, absolutely. I mean, that's really how we picked it. I know you sat down with Helena and myself, and when we really had a bounty that we acquired from the Birdall family when we launched here, and we had to prioritize these 3 assets, right, to avoid blowing our brains out on 10 or more or 15 assets that we acquired, and we prioritized based on high grade, which we have all 3 assets. Potential for real scale, right? A substantial scale, and then proximity to road and power, right? And so those were the kind of the 3 axes that we work towards.
Okay, and then the final project that'll be drilled is Birch. Tell us about Birch.
Well, Birch is that's a big swing there as well at Birch. So as you might recall, that one is a 1,400 meter long gold and soil anomaly at surface. That gold and soil anomaly is up to 0.99 gram per ton gold. So almost a gram per ton gold in soil. As you know, I mean, there's in Ontario, Quebec, I mean, there's big world-class mines that produce at a gram per ton gold, like in rock. so to see that in soil is impressive. And we we took that on as an epithermal gold opportunity, but quickly we saw the potential for that gold to be the surface expression of an intact gold-rich copper porphyry. And we see all of the elements there. There's the 1,400-meter long copper as well with the gold, substantial high-grade copper at surface, multiple samples, 2.4% copper at surface, 14 gram per ton gold at surface, and then just to the south of that anomaly, substantial big molybdenum footprint, which is what you'd expect to see. And then relative to Yukon as well, key pathfinder element there is tellurium, which is also present in Birch. So we think we've got the potential for, like I said, a big intact copper porphyry here. We'll put 3,000 meters into Birch. That one is slightly more remote. It's 65 kilometers from the nearest town, so about 40 miles. And so that one will be helicopter supported. But I mean, that's elephant country right there.
Yeah, I mean, that's blue sky, and that term is used a lot in the junior mining sector. But I would say Birch is definitely in the blue sky territory there, and that all those metals that you just ran through, that is very indicative of a porphyry system, copper gold moly porphyry system. So that'll be the final project that's drilled this year. 2, 3, 4 holes.
We'll get down to we'll do more than that. We'll get down to about 350 meters there. So what we're going to try to do there is get into mineralized skarn horizons, relatively shallow at 50 to 100 meters. We think we've got a pretty good eye on where we can intersect that. And then we'll get down to what we expect to be the upper part of the porphyry, down at about 350 meters. So we'll do a total of about 3,000 meters there, and that's just a conservative budget. I mean, we can do more than that.
Right. Okay. Absolutely. So now for some of the tougher questions, Rory. So this is the first year you're drilling 3 different projects, 3 drill programs. Investors, they don't have much of a compass here to gauge the company or evaluate it with. What are your expectations, and how should investors gauge the results that you'll put out later in the year?
Yeah, I mean, look, I think there's the potential for multiple discoveries here. Right. I mean, that's the business we're in, and that's what our expectation is internally, that we're going to have multiple discoveries. Look, I've talked to folks depending on. I mean, we obviously are investors, and we can get through our investor base here in a bit as well. But which I think is a key element to understanding the value proposition at Yukon Metals. But like, a lot of folks double down on us, and obviously are very bullish on the Yukon Metals story, and they believe that that just as we do, that we could get 2, 3 discoveries here on these 3 drill assets. But I think even the more conservative folks think we'll probably at least get 1 discovery, right? I mean, which is pretty good, especially with all 3 of these are pretty big, high grade, large scale, right, proximal to road and power. So look, I think it's just it's drilling, right? And that's the catalyst. It's going to be grade and width, right? And that's what it's going to come down to. And I think that's the point of this, is to intersect substantial grade and then return substantial widths as well, right? So I think that's the key. I think that's what our investors are expecting, right? And I think that's what we'll get out there and be talking to the market about. And the nice thing now is, after a relatively barren time of news, right, there is a seasonal aspect to the Yukon and the exploration season. We're going to have consistent news flow for 7 to 8 months now. So this is just the start, right? This is just kind of whetting the appetite here.
Literally today, June 11th, is just the start, and there's going to be a lot of news flow for the rest of the year and into 2026. And it's also great that the company is so well funded with 17 million cash in the treasury. So you're going to drill, you're going to spend money, but even after you're done with this season, you'll have plenty left for the following year. Couple more questions, Rory, and then we'll wrap up. So let's talk about the territory, the Yukon more broadly, and how the mining industry and these drill programs affect the economy in the Yukon. Obviously, here in 2025, the gold price is doing well, the silver price is doing well, copper is doing well. So the mining sector has an inflow of capital suddenly for the first time in a while. So how does it impact the territory?
Yeah, well, mining is the major employer in the territory, right? It's really key to the overall economic health of the territory, and I think that's recognized. Yeah, I mean, you've seen companies, obviously, the Snowline is probably the halo company there with building out there. It's going to be 10 million ounces at least, I think, there of their deposit at Valley. They're obviously got as much money as they need. Fireweed just cashed up, right? We've seen a lot of names there get the money. I think the market's speaking with its wallet, right? They're supportive of providing capital to quality exploration and mining companies and development companies in the Yukon, right? And so I think as we talked about before, the Yukon, what attracts me to it is just the absurd level of prospectivity there, right? And I mean, it's just you go down to Arizona and Nevada, and even in Canada, Ontario, Quebec, and I mean, it's all the easy stuff is being picked over. It's all being developed and mined before. It hasn't in the Yukon, right? Like you can trip over a discovery. 3.5 years ago, there wasn't a drill hole into the Valley Project, right? Which is now a world-class discovery in the Yukon, world-class gold discovery. And I mean, at our Star River project that I took you through, and I hope, we're going to get you maybe we'll get you to the AZ site here in July. But for instance, at Star, we can walk I can take a F-150 half the way up the hill and then get out and walk about 10 minutes. And you can literally, and I know you've held these rocks in your hand, you can literally hack metal out of the ground. Right. And that's cool. that's like 10-minute walk from a road. So, yeah. And so I've never seen that before. And I've worked all over the Americas, been to site at world-class mines and developments, and haven't seen just the extent to which there's just like, there's just this level of prospectivity and abundance all over the place.
Yeah, if that metal was sitting near surface in Arizona or somewhere in the western part of the U.S., that would have been extracted and taken out of there by some cowboys 150 years ago. But up in the Yukon, they couldn't quite get to where we get today with the roads being built, and obviously you can get the helicopter places like Birch. All right, so final question, Rory. Yep. You've been the CEO for more than 12 months now. You brought this company to this moment, a big year for YMC. If you could summarize your vision for the company in a few sentences, what would it be?
Yeah, I mean, the vision here again is multiple discoveries. We've got these 3 assets that we've brought now to the drill ready stage. We've got 5 assets behind this that we'll be providing drill targets on. So look, the short term catalyst here is drilling discoveries. That's the business we're in, right? The reason you put these kind of companies together is right. You take the great assets that the Berdahl family assembled over 30 years, right? And you float them and you raise money and you get out there and you do the good science, right? You bring in a quality team of people that are able to help put these targets and bring these assets forward, and you do the work, right? And so that's the expectation. That's what Ron Berdahl and the Berdahls want to see is discoveries, right? And we're in the discovery business, right? They got their gold discovery at Snowline. We aim here to have a major copper gold discovery and a major gold silver discovery, right? And that's really just the start, right? We do have a large. I mean, we've really just focused on the most obvious places, and again, like close, either on a road or very close to a road, right? We've got 17 properties, right? So you're going to probably see us look for other ways to create value for our shareholders as well, looking at the potential for portfolio optimization, whether it be a spin out, right, and or allowing other companies to earn into the properties by using their treasury to earn in. But yeah, no, that's what I expect here. I expect to be able to create substantial value in the market and reward our shareholders that have been incredibly supportive. We've got 75% of the money we just raised, the 11 million we just raised, came from folks that participated in the first round when we launched, right? And so we went from 38 cents at launch average cost to 55 cents in the last raise. So 45% premium without a drill hole, right? And so now I think a pretty good baseline here at around 50 cents and a good platform for us to really really launch here and get some major assay news across 3 properties in the coming months.
Rory, Quinn, thank you for your time.
Thank you so much, Robert.